Welcome to your basic English course, Simple Present and Common Vocabulary. My name is John and I will be your teacher. Now, who is John? Who is your teacher? I have a bachelor's degree in teaching English as a foreign language and I'm pursuing a master's in education. I love traveling and I have visited different countries such as the United States, Czech Republic, Germany, Panama, and Austria. I'm very excited to be with you here because teaching is what I love. You can also see me in other courses here at Platzi. For example, your TOEFL preparation course. It's an advanced course, but eventually you will get there. What will we learn in this course? Are you ready to find out? In this course, you will learn many things, but especially you will learn how to introduce yourself, how to present your personal information to others. You will also learn the use of verb to be and other verbs when we are using the simple present. We will practice with different examples so you can get a real master in this topic. You will also practice how to make simple questions in English and how to use basic and common vocabulary. You will also practice prepositions, how to talk about places especially. And finally, you will also learn some irregular nouns, some differences between regular and irregular nouns. Now, are you excited? Because I am very excited. Leave your comments on how excited you are in the chat and go to the resource section and download the workbook. We will write all the answers for your activities in that workbook. Are you ready? Let's do it. Introducing myself. This is very important in English because normally you have to give information about you. In this class, you will learn how to introduce yourself to other people. Let's check. 4 aspects are very important here. First, your name. Second, your nationality. Third, your job or occupation. And fourth, you need to say your age. You can also change the order. You don't have to give the same sentences all the time. You can change the order. Pay attention to my personal presentation. Pay attention to the introduction of myself. Hi, my name is John. I am Colombian. I am 27 years old and I am a teacher. I work at Platzi. That is my personal presentation. That is the introduction of myself. Practice in your house, in your office. Do this exercise. Introduce yourself in front of a mirror and see your pronunciation. Write the comments of your personal presentation in your workbook and I will see you next class. How to introduce others. In this class, you will learn how to introduce other people. You already practiced how to introduce yourself. In this class, you will watch and listen how to introduce other people. Before you watch that conversation, pay attention to this vocabulary. To introduce one person, we say this. This is my friend Anna, for example. Be very attentive and listen to this word in the conversation. Let's check it. Hi, my name is John, and this is my friend Cesar.
Hi, my name is Cesar. I'm a full-stack developer. I'm 24 years old and I'm Colombian. And this is my friend Elena.
My name is Elena. I'm 30 years old. I'm Colombian American. I'm a teacher. And this is my friend Ana.
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm a teacher. I'm 25 years old and I'm Honduran.
You listened how to introduce one person. When we introduce multiple people, 2 or more, we say these are. For example, these are my friends. This is my friend Cesar. And this is my friend Elena. And this is my friend Anna. And remember, this is, we use it for singular, one person. This is my friend Anna. These are, we use it for 2 or more people. These are my friends. Now practice in your house with your friends or with your family. Write a short introduction of different people in your family or different friends. Practice also the pronunciation. This is, these are. Write these examples in your workbook, and I will see you next class. This is one of the most important topics in English, and my job is to make sure you understand it very, very well. Something super important to remember here is that the simple present has two options. One option when you use the famous verb to be, and the second option when you use different actions. The verb to be will be the first topic in this class. We will see how to use it, when to use it, and we will practice with different examples. Now, what is simple present tense with the verb to be? You maybe ask yourself these questions many times. Now, the simple present with the verb to be is useful when you want to say characteristics of people. Do you remember my personal presentation? I am John. I am from Colombia. I am 27 years old. I am using am as the verb to be because I am saying characteristics of me. We also use the verb to be to talk about the status or to give details about a person, including emotions and characteristics. Go to the resource section of this class and download a document with extra vocabulary that will be very important to express characteristics. Now, the verb to be is not like that. You don't see to be in the sentences very often. Instead, we normally see am, is, or are when you are using it in the simple present tense. We can also make different adaptations and transformations and make sentence in affirmative, in negative, or in question form. In this class, we will practice all those different forms. Let's start with some examples. Look at the baby. I am happy. Imagine I am the baby. I am happy. This is an affirmation. In a negative form, you can say, I am not happy. I am not happy. Now, in a question, we change the position. I am, we change the order, and we say, am I happy? Am I happy? I ask the question to myself, and you respond that question. Yes, John. Yes, you are. Or, no, John, you aren't. I ask the question to myself, and you respond the question. Happy is an emotion. Remember to check the list of vocabulary so you can see other adjectives, other emotions, and other characteristics. I am. It's me. I am. Let's continue. Look at this lady. Look at her. She is beautiful. She is beautiful. This is an affirmation. Let's now check a negative statement. She isn't beautiful. What about a question? Remember, we change the position of the elements. We say, is she beautiful? Remember the intonation. Is she beautiful? And we respond, yes, she is, or no, she isn't. You can also respond in a full answer. Yes, she is beautiful. Or no, she isn't beautiful. Let's continue. Look at the man. He is an important person. He is an important person is an affirmation. What about a negative statement? I want you to try. Take a moment and tell me, he is an important person in a negative form. Let's see. He isn't an important person. Or he is not an important person. Two options are possible here. What about a question? Is he an important person? Remember to change the order. Yes, he is, or no, he isn't. Try with the long answer, and let's see. Yes, he is an important person, or no, he is not an important person. Let's continue. Look at that hamburger. It is delicious. It, when we talk about objects, animals, things, it is delicious. It isn't delicious in a negative form. And in question, we change the order. Is it delicious? Yes, it is delicious. Or no, it isn't. One more for you. You. You are strong. You are is an affirmation. You are strong. Or the opposite. You aren't very strong. You aren't very strong is a negative statement. What about a question? I'm sure you know the corresponding question, right? Are you a strong person? Yes, you are. Or no, you aren't. One more for you over here. We are friendly. We are friendly. In a negative form, we say we aren't friendly. We aren't friendly. What about a question? Are we friendly? Yes, we are. Or no, we aren't. Remember that this vocabulary, important, beautiful, friendly, all this vocabulary is in the extra document that you can download to practice adjectives and characteristics. One more for you. They are excited. They are super happy. They are excited. In a negative form, we say they aren't excited. And in a question, we can say, are they excited? Remember, you can answer in a short or in a long form. Yes, they are. Or yes, they are excited. No, they aren't. Or no, they aren't excited. It's time to practice. We have here some sentences, and I want you to tell me if they are correct or incorrect. Remember to write your answers in your workbook. We will check the answers together. Let's do it. Number 1, she is not my sister. Number 2, I are at home. Number 3, are he sad? Number 4, we know American. Number 5, is he your brother? Pause the video, take a moment, and think if these sentences are correct or not. Let's now check your answers. Don't forget to write them in your workbook. The first, she is not my sister. That is correct. Number 2, I are at home. That is not okay. We have to say I am at home. The next is also incorrect. Is he sad? Is he sad? The next, we know American. It's important to use the verb to be. We are not American. We aren't American. And the final one, is he your brother? Is correct. Remember to write this in your workbook, and I will see you next class. Simple present with other verbs. In our previous class, we practiced simple present with the verb to be. This time, we will practice the other option. Remember, we have two separate elements, verb to be or other verbs. In the future, you will see how to make a combination of these two elements. But for now, remember, they are separate. Let's see, what is that? Other verbs are essentially any action that is not the verb to be. Go, play, visit, travel, cook. We need to use do and does when we use other verbs in order to make the negative statements and the questions. In the affirmations, there is something also very special. Let's give a look at that. Let's check these sentences. I want you to practice the pronunciation after me. Number 1, I play soccer. She plays soccer. Number 2, you listen to music. She or he listens to music. Number 3, we watch TV. Or he or she watches TV. Number 4, they study English. Or he, she studies English. Can you see the difference between the two groups of sentences? The difference is that when we use he, she, or it, we need to add an extra letter or an extra group of letters. For example, play, plays, watch, watches, study, studies. These transformations are very important and they happen in affirmative sentences only. Go to the resource section and download an extra document with the rules that you need to follow when you add the S, the ES, or IES to the actions. This is called third person. He, she, and it. They have these special variations in the actions in the affirmative form. So pause this video, download that document, and make sure you check all the different rules and the exercises that I have for you. Now that you are back, let's check the full transformation of one action. For example, I work at Platzi. You work at Platzi. We work at Platzi. They work at Platzi. Can you see that is essentially the same sentence? You only change the pronoun. I, you, we, or they. Something special happens when I use he, she, or it. Let's see. He works at Platzi, or she works at Platzi, or it works at Platzi. That sentence is a bit strange, but grammatically speaking, it's okay. You put the letter S because the action finishes in K. Remember, there are rules, so check the document that I attached in the research section so you can see all the different rules for the letter S or for the different variations depending on the action. Remember, this only happens in affirmative sentences. It's time to practice, and I want you to help me transform these sentences using he or she. Remember to check the extra document for more practice on how to make the transformation of the actions. Let's do it. We live in Colombia. It's your turn. He or she lives in Colombia. Number 2, I work at Platzi. He or she works at Platzi. Number 3, they play the guitar. He or she plays the guitar. Number 4, you eat pizza. He or she eats pizza. Remember, this is a transformation in the affirmative form. But let's see what happens in a negative form. It's a little bit different. Let's check these examples. She plays soccer. It's an affirmation. The corresponding negative form is she doesn't play soccer. We put the word doesn't because this is a negative form and I'm using she in my sentence. Let's check example number 2. I listen to music. It's an affirmation. In a negative form, I don't use doesn't. I use don't. And I say I don't listen to music. Let's check example number 3. He cooks very well. What about the negative form? We say he doesn't cook very well. Remember, he, she, and it are special, and we use a special vocabulary with them. Number 4, they write letters. In a negative form, we say they don't write letters. Essentially, we use do and don't for the personal pronouns I, you, we, or they. We use does or doesn't when we are using he, she, or it in the sentence. Now, what happens when we want to make a question? There is a transformation. Look at these 3 sentences and tell me if you can see that transformation of the elements. Let's see if you discover the trick. In the affirmative sentence, we say you watch TV, the person, the action, and the complement. In the negative sentence, you say you don't watch TV, the person, the negative word, the action, and the complement. Now look at the question. It looks very similar to the affirmation, right? The only difference is that we put the do before. Do you watch TV? And you change your intonation. Do you watch TV? And that's how you make a question. It happens exactly the same when you use he, she, or it in the sentence. But the difference in that case is that you don't use don't, you use doesn't. And in the questions, you don't use do, you use does. Let's check a full distribution of these elements in affirmative, in negative, and in questions. Let's do this together. I want you to repeat after me and make sure you pause this video and take all the necessary notes. Complement your notes with the extra document that I told you in the research section. Let's go with the first example. I speak English is an affirmation. I don't speak English, it's negative. Do I speak English? And you can answer, yes, you do, or no, you don't. Take a moment to repeat these sentences. Now, let's go with the second. You work at Platzi. You don't work at Platzi. Do you work at Platzi? Yes, you do, or no, you don't. Let's check the next. He or she, in this case, she studies hard. She doesn't study hard. Question. Does she study hard? Yes, she does, or no, she doesn't. Next. He likes pizza. He doesn't like pizza. Does he like pizza? Yes, he does, or no, he doesn't. It works. It doesn't work. Does it work? Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. We play the piano. We don't play the piano. Do we play the piano? Yes, you do. Or no, you don't. This is the case that you answer the question. Or you can say, yes, we do, or no, we don't. Final round. They watch TV. They don't watch TV. Do they watch TV? Yes, they do, or no, they don't. Keep this chart very close to you in case you have any questions about how to make the transformation of one element from affirmative to negative or question, and also depending on the person that you refer to. Or remember, we use it when we refer to animals or objects. Now it's time to practice together. I have some questions for you, and I want you to write your answers in your workbook. Number 1, do you play any musical instruments? Number 2, do you eat vegetables? I hope it's a yes, but I don't know. Do you eat vegetables? Number 3, do you live in an apartment or maybe a house? Do you live in an apartment? And number 4, do you speak Spanish? Do you speak Spanish? Remember to write your answers in your workbook, and I will see you next class. Let's get more practice on simple present with the verb to be and with other verbs. Go to the resource section and download a worksheet. In that document, I give you an example about how to describe a person. I describe my father, and I use the simple present with the verb to be and with other verbs. Download the document and describe a person in your family, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, the person that you want to practice this vocabulary. Remember to put all this information together in your workbook so you can get your final project beautiful and ready at the end of the course. See you next class. Let's now practice how to say our daily routine. But what is a daily routine? A routine is something that you do very frequently or that you do very often. And daily means that you do it every day. Check these pictures and select one that doesn't belong to the group. One activity that you don't do every day. The other 3 are part of your daily routine. You probably selected traveling. Maybe you want to travel every day, but you work and you study, so you don't travel every day. It's not part of your daily routine. Go to the resource section and download an extra document with some vocabulary about your daily routine. We use the daily routine to talk about our habits and about our regular activities in one day. Don't forget to check the document that I mentioned, and now I will give you an example of my personal routine. Let's check it. I wake up very early and I exercise for 20 minutes. I read my favorite book and I take a shower. Then I go to work. I come back at home and I go to bed after dinner. This is my personal routine. What is your daily routine? Use my routine as your example and check the vocabulary in the document so you can write your routine. Remember to do this in your workbook and share your answers in the chat if you want. I look forward to checking your personal routine, and I will see you next class. In this class, we will learn the daily routine of another person. You know my daily routine, and I know your daily routine. Now, let's see the routine of another person so you can see and practice he and she when we use actions for that person. You will listen and watch a short video of a friend that is presenting his personal routine. Pay attention to the vocabulary, and if you have questions, remember you can check the extra document in the research section in the previous class so you can see a list of the most common vocabulary for daily routines. Listen and pay attention. Hey Jess, how are you?
Hi, John. I'm good.
Nice. Jess, what's your daily routine?
I wake up at 7 a.m. and I brush my teeth. I read my favorite book and I take a shower. I go to work and I have lunch there. I come back home at 6 p.m. I cook dinner and I watch TV.
Amazing, Jess. Thank you. We already listened to Jess's routine. Now, let's see the vocabulary that he used. Remember, when we use he, she, or it in the sentence, we need to transform the action a little bit. So, this is Jess's routine, but now we say that routine. Let's do it together. I say one sentence and then you repeat after me so we can practice. He wakes up at 7 a.m. and he brushes his teeth. He reads his favorite book and he takes a shower. He goes to work and he has lunch there. He comes back home at 6 p.m. and he cooks dinner and watches TV. Perfect. This is Jess's daily routine. I want you to practice with the routine of another person so you can get more experience in the transformation of the actions when you use he, she, or it. Go ahead and ask the daily routine to a person in your family or to a friend and write a similar routine to this in the example so you can practice the vocabulary and the grammar. Don't forget to write the answers in your workbook and I will see you next class. Welcome to a new module. I'm very excited to be here with you, and I have some surprises for you to practice in this class. Let's find it out. WH questions in simple present. In previous classes, we practiced yes and no questions. Simple questions that you answer with a yes or a no. For example, do you like pizza? Yes or no. Are you from Colombia? Yes or no. In this class, we will practice information questions. And for this, I have some special vocabulary. Let's check it out. Who, where, when, what, which, and why. These words are used for asking information questions. Your job in this activity is to connect these elements in the corresponding form. I will give you a moment. You can pause this video and connect the question words with the corresponding uses. Let's now check your answers. Who is the question that we ask for people? Very well. People. For example, who is that person in the window? Who is that person in the window? Where is a question that we use for places. Places. For example, where is the supermarket? What's the location of the supermarket? Next, we have when, that we use it for times. For example, when is your class? Oh, my class is tomorrow. When is your class? 4 times. What is a very unique question word because we can use it for things, or you can use it also for many other things. You can say, what is your phone number? As a thing, right? But you can also make combinations. And you can say, what time is your class? It's another question for time. Or you can make open questions like, what's your name? What is a very common question word in English. Why? It's a question about reasons. Why do you do that? That's not okay. Why? I want to know the reason. And finally, which. For which, we use options. For example, which is your favorite color? Blue or black? That's different when I say, what's your favorite color? The question is very open, very general. When I use which, I have options. Which is your favorite color? Blue or black? And I give you the options. Now, the best way to master this topic is with practice. So I want you to do a couple of exercises. And for instance, I will use where. I want you to practice making a question using each of the question words and also making questions with the verb to be and with other verbs. Check my example. Where? Form number 1. Where is the car? Is. I'm using verb to be. Second question. Where do you live? It's another question, but this time with another verb. Do the same activity with all the other question words. When, why, which, so you can practice. Remember to write your answers in your workbook, and I will see you next class. Prepositions of place. In this class, we will practice some very useful vocabulary that can help you describe or talk about places. Let's first look at this beautiful cat. Where is the cat? Take a moment and give me your answer. Where is the cat? Let's check your answer. The cat is in the box. Now, in this sentence, I put a preposition of place. Can you see the preposition of place? Take a moment. The preposition of place is in, because it gives me information about the location of the beautiful cat. Is in the box, because I can close the box and now is in the box. Let's give a look at one more example. That coffee looks delicious. Where is the cup of coffee? Let's check your answer. The cup of coffee is on the table. On the table. What is a preposition in this sentence? And the preposition is on. Very well. On is another preposition that we normally use for horizontal or vertical or surfaces in general. The cup of coffee is on the table. It's a surface. Or for instance, my pictures, my paintings are on the wall. It's a vertical surface. There are more uses for on, but these are the most common. Let's check another preposition of place. Look at the lady. Where is she? Where is she? Take a moment and give me your answer. She is in front of the laptop. Again, tell me, what is the preposition of place in here? And the answer is in front of. That means, for instance, right now, I am in front of my computer. I am in front of the window. In front. She is in front of the laptop. And let's check one more. Look at the kids. Where are they? Where are they? Take a moment and tell me your answer. They are next to the Christmas tree. They are next to the Christmas tree. What's the preposition in this sentence? The answer is next to. For example, I am next to the door, or I am next to my microphone. Next to. There are more prepositions in English, and we can continue talking about these for hours. But these are the most common ones that we will practice this time. Beside is an example of another form to say next to. I am next to the window. I am beside the window. Behind is the opposite of in front. For instance, I am in front of my computer, or the books or the pictures are behind me. Behind, the opposite of in front of. Under, for instance, my cat is under the table. You don't say it, but my cat is under the table. And over is the opposite of under. The light is over my computer, or it's over me. Under, over. In front, and behind. I want you to continue practicing this topic, and I want you to answer a couple of questions. I will tell you the questions, and I want you to use 3 prepositions to describe your answer. Remember to write your answers in your workbook. Question number 1. Where are you in this moment? What's your location? Use 3 prepositions. Second question. Where is your laptop? Where is your laptop or your computer? Question number 3. Where is your bed? To sleep. Where is your bed? And as a final question, where is your TV? In your house, where is your TV? Remember to use 3 different prepositions of place to tell me the location of these elements. Write the answers in your workbook, and I will see you next class. It's now time to practice your listening skills. In this class, you will listen to 3 people talking about their characteristics and their location. Listen to these audios and answer the questions. What is his or her name? Where are they? Use the prepositions. What's their job? And finally, where do they live? Listen to the audios and answer the questions. At the end, you can download the answer key to compare your answers. Let's do it.
My name is Jess. 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 And I'm a professional photographer. I enjoy cooking, but I'm not an expert. I watch tutorials and I like to create my own recipes. I'm in Sydney right now, but I live in Canada. Australia has wonderful landscapes, and I'm sure I can capture great pictures here.
Hey there, I'm Ravi. Ravee, Ravi. I'm late for work, so I need to get a taxi. I work at Central Park, at the zoo. I'm a veterinarian. I love taking care of animals. On the weekends, I'm the manager of a pizza restaurant. Pizza Comic. We have the best pizza in Manhattan, New York.
This is Elena. E-L-E-N-A. Elena, I travel a lot for work. I'm in Russia right now, but I live in Argentina. I'm a tour guide and a journalist. Yes, I know, that's an interesting combination. I like to document my trips and help others.
Amazing! How was your listening activity? Let me see your comments in the comment section. Did you see the answers for these questions? If not, that's okay. You can always go back and listen again. Don't worry, we are here to help you. Write your answers in your workbook and I will see you next class. Have versus has. Are they the same? Are they different? Let's find it out in this class. We use this action to refer to something that belongs to us. Now, there are some variations when I say I have or I use he, she, or it in the sentence. With other actions, we normally say I speak English or she speaks English. If you have questions about the S, remember you can go back to a previous class in this course and see why we made that change. If you see the action have, there is a little change. We have a car, it's not he has a car. People usually believe that that's the corresponding form, but it is not. The action have is irregular. So the third person is not has, it's actually has. She has a car. But have and has in meaning are exactly the same. It's just a special transformation of the action. Let's practice together. They have a dog. Imagine this example with she and make that sentence with me. They have a dog. Take a moment and make the sentence with she. You probably think she has a dog. That's very good. What about the negative form? Is the negative form special? Let's find it out. They don't have a dog versus she doesn't have a dog. In this case, have works the same as any other action. Work, play, go, visit. Exactly the same. The principal difference is in the affirmative form, have and has. What about the question? I want you to help me with the question. Do they have a dog? What's the corresponding question using she? Very well. Does she have a dog? Remember, have works the same as any other action. Let's now practice together. I have some sentences here that I want you to transform from affirmative form to negative and question form. Write your answers in your workbook. You have a good job. She has 2 brothers. They have a cat. He has a new cell phone. Write the negative and question forms of these sentences in your workbook, and I will see you next class. It's time to practice your writing skills. In this class, you will have the opportunity to practice your writing abilities. Go to the resource section and download a worksheet. You will see some gaps that you need to complete. What is a gap? It is a line in which there's nothing written. You need to complete that sentence using the word that you can see in the brackets. Using that action, you will complete the sentence. Remember, you can find the activity in the resource section. At the end, when you finish, download the answer key and correct and compare your answers. We will be practicing the simple present in the different variations that we saw during this course. Don't forget, if you need to go back and check another class to be sure, please do it. The more you practice, the better. I will see you next class. Irregular plural nouns. These are nouns that make their plural form in an irregular way. That means that you don't use the letter S to form the plural, but instead, it's actually a different word or a different spelling. Let's see. Book is a regular noun because the corresponding plural form is books. Apple is another example because we say apples. But what happens, for instance, with man? Most people say mans, but this is not okay because it is irregular and the corresponding form is actually man with a different spelling. What about life? Is that a regular or an irregular noun? Let's find it out. People usually say that lives is the corresponding plural form, but this is incorrect. The spelling is incorrect because we need to write the word in plural with the letter V. The pronunciation is pretty much the same, lives, but the spelling is very different. Let's see how many irregular plural nouns you know. For instance, foot. What is the plural of foot? Take a moment and think. It's actually feet. It's not foots. That doesn't exist. What about hero? What is the plural form of hero? It is heroes with an extra letter E at the end. What about child? It's not childs. It's actually children. Very well. Let's check one more. Fish, and I love this one. What is the plural form of fish? It's not fishes, it's actually fish. 1 fish, 2, 3, 4, 5, fish. It's the same. And I have one more for you. Knife. What's the plural form of knife? It is actually knives. The pronunciation is similar with a V sound, but we need to change the spelling. We don't use the F, we use the letter V. Knives. So go to the research section and download an extra document with some other examples. Remember, not all the nouns in English make the plural form with the S. There are some irregular nouns. See you next class. Verbs in imperative form. But what is that? What is an imperative form? We use this structure when we want to give instructions, when we want to give orders or advice. For instance, instructions. Please go to the resource section. That's an instruction, right? And I only use the action. Go to. That is imperative. Another way is order. Don't do that. When you say that to your kids, that's an instruction. Or advice. Go in the morning. It's better. You give a recommendation in an imperative form. We don't use or we don't say I, you, we, they. We don't mention the pronoun. We only say the action. Go, do, practice, study. And we use it for instructions, orders, or advice. In this class, we are going to have so much fun. Are you ready? We will play the famous game Simon Says. I will give you 3 instructions, and I want you to do them so we can practice the imperative form. Are you ready? Move around, get ready in your chair, in your bed, whatever you are. Here it is, instruction number 1. I want you to take a selfie taking this course and post it on Twitter using the hashtag English@Platzi. Instruction number 1, take a selfie and post it on Twitter. I will give you a moment to do it. Are you ready for number 2? Simon says, say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I know that your brain is going a bit crazy, and that's okay. Pause the video and do it with me. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Say that. Are you ready? I think you maybe need to try one more time. Simon says, try one more time. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's actually a real word. Check it in the dictionary. Number 3, and this is awesome. Simon says, stretch your arms and give yourself a hug. Simon says, stretch your arms and give yourself a hug. Amazing. We just practiced imperative form of these different actions. You can also do this at home. I invite you, try this game with your friends, with your family, do it at home. Don't forget to finish these challenges, post the picture on Twitter. That's one instruction in imperative form. Try and repeat the word that I pronounced. That's another imperative order. And also stretch your arms and give yourself a hug. That's the final instruction. These are verbs in imperative form. We don't use a subject or a person in the sentence. Instead, we use the action for a very direct message. Finish these activities and I will see you next class. And versus but. We use these 2 words in similar ways, but we also use them with different intentions. They look similar, but they are not. I have 2 columns here. I want you to help me connect the word with the corresponding use or definition. Let's do it. Very well. And is used to connect ideas that have similar intentions. But we use but when we need to show contrast of ideas. Let's check some examples. For instance, I like pizza, but I don't like to eat hamburgers. Let's check example number 2. I love traveling by car, and I love traveling by plane. I like the 2 options, so I use and because they go in the same direction. They are similar ideas. Now, a plant and a dog. Here, I need to show contrast, so I can say, I don't have plants in my house, but I have a beautiful dog. Please go to your workbook and write 5 examples using and 5 examples using but, so you can practice with similar ideas and showing contrast. See you next class. A versus an. In this class, you will learn how similar but how different they are. We use a and an when we want to talk about something general or that it's not particular or very specific. Pay attention to these groups of words. Apple, egg, and elephant. Do you say a or an with these words? What about this group? Laptop, bicycle, and child. Do I need to use a or an? Take a moment to think your answer. And the answer is an apple, an egg, an elephant. Or a laptop, a bicycle, and a child. The reason is, when we use a, the next word starts with a consonant sound. For example, L, B, or C. And I want to emphasize that it's the sound and not the letter because we have some exceptions. For example, we say a university, not an university. A university, because the U sounds like your. We say an hour. We don't say a hour because the H is silent and we pronounce like the O sound, an hour. Be very careful and practice with some extra examples. We can also use a and an for jobs, professions, or occupations. Let's give a look at picture number 1. You can say, she is a doctor. It's very important to say a doctor. I know in other languages you just say the profession or the job, but in English we need to use a or an. Number 2, he is an artist, for instance. He is an artist. Number 3, for example, he is a chef. He is a chef. Or number 4, she is an engineer. An engineer. Go to the resource section and download a worksheet with extra activities for you to practice a and an. Remember to put all these exercises together into your workbook so you can have a fabulous final project at the end of this course. See you next class. I like, you don't like. In this roleplay, you will watch 2 friends talking about likes and dislikes. Make some notes because you need to answer the following questions. Who doesn't like hot dogs? And who doesn't drink soda? And who doesn't drink coffee? Watch the conversation, pay attention to what you listen, and answer these questions. Hi, Anna.
Hi, John.
Anna, I love pizza, but I don't like hot dogs. And you?
Oh, John, I love hot dogs and hamburgers. What about you?
Yeah, I love hamburgers, but I don't drink soda. Do you drink soda?
Yes, I do. Do you drink tea, John?
Yes, I drink tea and I drink coffee. What about you?
No, I don't drink coffee. I prefer water.
Okay, thank you. Let's now compare your answers. Who doesn't like hot dogs? The answer is John doesn't like hot dogs. Question number 2. Who doesn't drink soda? And the answer is John doesn't drink soda. Question number 3. Who doesn't drink coffee? And the answer is Anna doesn't drink coffee. Remember to write these answers in your workbook and I will see you next class. Welcome. I am very proud of everything you did in this course, and I want to give you an extra material for you to practice the grammar that we checked in this course. Go to the resource section and download the document. It has some extra information about how to use the simple present with the verb to be and with other verbs. I will see you in our final class. Congratulations, everybody! You did an amazing job in this course. I'm very excited to see your progress. Remember to take our final test on this course and test your knowledge. Share with us your diploma in your social network and share your feedback. Your comments are very important to me, and I'll be waiting to see what you want to share with me. Learning is very important, so I encourage you to continue taking other courses in our school. I'm very excited and I really want to see you in my next courses. Congratulations!